One of the biggest questions is how much will an ADU cost? Brooks, we need your help on this. Answer this for us, please.
Everybody does. And you know how I'm going to answer that is, well, I'm not sure, Brenna. What are you building? Do
That's
you
a
know
great
yet?
point. No, I actually don't.
That's one of the biggest challenges is you're not going to know exactly what something's going to cost until you know exactly what you're going to build.
Very fair.
However, you're in a conundrum here because you need to know about what's it going to cost so I can see if it's going to financially make sense.
Yeah.
And so that's why we talk a little bit about costs and the steps. So one of the things that you need to understand is in Utah right now, if you're building a brand new building, the cost to build that building is generally estimated in a square foot cost.
Okay.
Okay. That could be anywhere from $250 a square foot to $300 a square foot. That still is a big range.
Yeah.
What is it that affects that? Well, what's the fit and finish going to be? Are you going to finish it really nice, or are you just going to put in just the average type of stuff?
Gotcha.
Who's the contractor that I'm working with, and how am I going to work with those? So a lot of those determine what's going to happen as far as the cost.
Okay.
But you can get started by thinking about that if I'm going to build something that is 500 square feet, I'm probably going to be into it about $200,000 for an external ADU.
Okay.
Now that's a little bit different because a lot of people are considering putting in what's called an internal ADU, which is generally a basement apartment.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Okay? Well, the nice thing about that is you're not actually building a building. It's already built. You're remodeling part of your basement.
That sounds cheaper.
It does, significantly much.
Okay.
Again, cost for that range anywhere from about $100 to maybe $200 a square foot.
Okay.
But as far as a budget number, to start looking at what that is, start working with about $100,000 as your investment cost to get it done. So just kind of go back over that again real quick. You're probably going to spend $200,000 or more for an external ADU.
Okay.
You'll be able to narrow that price down once you get a design.
What am I building?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Because then you can actually get a contractor to give you a bid price.
Gotcha. Okay.
Until then, he doesn't know what he's building. Okay.
Yeah.
So $200,000 for an external ADU. And if you're remodeling a basement, it's probably going to be about $100,000.
Okay.
Now, one of the things you need to understand is a lot of people say, how can it cost that much? It's just a little building in the backyard. It's not much different than my shed. Oh, yes. It is much, much different than a shed. You're literally building a home.
Yeah.
It's a small home, but it is a home.
It is a home.
It has everything that your home has right now. It has all the plumbing fixtures. It has a bedroom. It has a kitchen. It's got to have electrical. It's got to have everything. And it has to meet all of the building and safety codes that your house would meet.
That makes sense.
So
of course it would.
It's not something that you're just shoving in the backyard because it has to meet all of those codes, which means that you've got to get a full set of engineered design prints, and it's got to be inspected by the city to be approved so that it's a safe living environment for somebody to be in there.
Yeah.
That is a significant cost.
Right. And yet the numbers that you've just been talking about are nowhere to be seen in any housing market. Those things don't exist.
Yeah. If you were to go out and look even for like a one-bedroom studio condo, you're probably into it $450,000 to $550,000.
And you have neighbors on every stairs, probably not
Yeah.
up 3 stairs. Yeah.
So don't get afraid of the cost right up front.
Okay.
Understand it's going to be there, and that you're going to have to work through the process of getting down to it. But you can start to narrow down. Okay, I know that I'm going to have to borrow about $200,000. How am I going to do that?
Yeah.
I know that if I do this, I'm going to get probably about $1,500 a month. Is that going to pay for it? Those will help you figure that out.
Well, and I love that in this section, we're going to be talking about how to make that $200,000 investment, if that's what it is, feasible and possible. So it's not just this is what it is and oh, I can't. There's so many things.
This is really where you need to, as you're looking at implementing, you need to spend some time here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And what I find is that people want to jump into the design of the building first off. You really want to understand if it's going to make financial sense to you.
Yeah.
And so you're going to probably spend about 30 days just understanding and massaging and making that happen.
Yeah.
It's well worth it.
Well, I'm incredibly thankful for this resource library because I know I want to look into doing this, and this is all of my answers here. So how do others get in contact with you with more questions about this?
Wow. We try to make it really simple at ADU Utah, and that is just send us an email to hello at aduutah.com. And ADU Utah is one word compressed together.
Okay.
So hello at aduutah.com with your questions, all the questions you want. We'll get back in touch with you and we'll work through that.
Perfect. Thank you.